Hello, and welcome to the video. Today, I wanted to talk to you about trying another painting technique. Now, this is something I've seen around a lot. It seems to have, in recent years, has kind of taken off. I haven't really tried it 100% yet, but I wanted to give it a shot, especially last week after trying the sponge technique with the painting. I was really happy with how that one turned out. So, what I want to try today is a little bit of slap chop. It's something that I think has kind of become popular recently. Well, maybe the last couple of years or so. It's a nice, fast way of painting miniatures, and I think the results are pretty decent. I don't think that they're super detailed or anything, but I think that it's definitely a good way of getting miniatures painted up fast. And they look good for tabletop quality. So I wanted to give it a shot and see what it really looked like. So I hope that you're going to stick around till the end of the video and see the final results. And then let me know in the comments below if you like it or if you don't like it. I definitely think it's going to be a lot faster than how I usually paint, but I'm not sure about the results just yet. So with that, let's get going. Okay, for this, I wasn't exactly sure how it was going to turn out, so I wanted to pick a model that I wasn't too much in love with, and for that, I chose this Bob, Agent of Hydra figure. To be honest, I don't know anything about the character, and it's not really my favorite miniature, so I thought, what the heck, it's good to try it on this one. So after priming the miniature black, I'm going to come in with a dark gray to do my first dry brush. And with this method here, you start off doing dry brushes. You want to start with a darker gray, then maybe a mid-tone gray, and then almost a pure white for the final highlight. And with this, we're just doing a heavy dry brush over all of the parts where the light would hit. You want the black to still be underneath in the darkest shadows. You want to go heavy with it, but not cover up everything. So now we're coming in with a mid-tone gray. And for this, we're going over a majority of the model, but we don't want to cover all of it. The thing here is that you want to do less and less on the highlights, and you want to hit more of the high peaks on the miniature where the light's going to hit the most, and keep bringing it up lighter and lighter. And finally, we're going to use white to do our final highlight on him, and for this, we're just hitting a few spots where the light is going to hit the most, like the top of the head, the top of the shoulders, and such, but you don't want to go overboard with this, as you want those darker grays to show through. And with this is a very quick, easy way of getting the miniature prepped up and ready for colors. I'm going to start off with this Shamrock Green speed paints, and for this figure I'm going to use pretty much all speed paints, and I'm only going to do the one coat on them. I'm not going to highlight them any further because I really wanted to see how a slap chopped miniature would look without going overboard and putting any highlights onto it or other colors or anything like that. I kind of wanted to just try one layer and see how that goes. And with this, I'm just trying to be careful because I'm not going to be able to cover it up too good. I mean, if you do make a mistake, you just take some of the gray and paint over where you maybe went out of the lines. So with this, I'm just trying to take my time and keep it a little neater. So now I'm going to start using yellow for his boots and gloves and straps, and I found that the yellow doesn't really cover that well. It does the job, but it doesn't cover as well as what I like. So I think maybe that's a negative for this method, is that it's great for darker colors, but it might not work so well for lighter colors. Now it still it still ties the whole miniature together because all of the colors look the same. They kind of have that dark grungy look to them. So if that's what you're going for, I think this will work out just fine. Now for his flesh, I did have to use contrast paints, and here I'm using Gilliman Flesh. Now with the slap chop, you can certainly use contrast or speed paints. In fact, I think you could probably even use regular paint if you just watered it down enough. As I said, this is still a new method for me, so I still have to experiment quite a bit with it to see what will actually work and what won't. Now I'm going back to the speed paints with Satchel Brown to paint up his holster and also some of the leather pouches that he has. I have to say, right now as he is, I'm kind of liking the way that he looks. it has like a darkish, almost like a comic book sort of color to him. So as of right now, I'm kind of happy with the results. I'm going with the enchanted steel speed paints for the bazooka and a couple little buckles that he has on. I gotta say, this speed paint actually covers really well and gives a nice metallic color to it. This is one of my favorite metallics, and I think that the speed paints actually do a really good job with these. With the miniature all painted now, for the base, I just put down a quick coat of a light gray on the pavement here. I wanted it to match my other bases that I have for my Marvel guys. And I'm just going to do a quick wash of Nuln Oil on it just to get down in the cracks and the damaged parts of the concrete. And my guy Bob here is all finished. I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with the results. I think he looks cool. I like the dark undertones to him. As I said before, I think it almost gives him like a comic book sort of feel or texture to him. It's definitely fast and it's definitely easy. I would say if I had a large group of guys that I just wanted to get on a table quickly, this would be an excellent technique to use. I think that they would look great on a table, you know, especially from a distance. He looks really good. Up close, it's a little too dark for my liking. It's a little too dull and grainy. Now, what you could do is you could always go on top of this and put some highlights, dry brushing. You could do some more shading and such. But I wanted this one to be just straight up slap chop, just so that I could see how it really looks. And if it was a viable option for doing on miniatures that I actually wanted to play with and enjoy. I mean, I'm going to use him in my games because he looks great for tabletop quality. I'm not sure that I'm going to use this method on some of my more favored units or miniatures that I want to display a little bit more. And here you can see he's with my other guys that I've painted previously and how he compares to them. I think that he's good enough. He doesn't stand out enough to not use him. I might go back though and touch up the flesh sections because the contrast paint just didn't cover up good enough, and I'd like to make that a little bit brighter. But other than that, I think the results are good for the amount of time and talent that it takes to put this together. So please let me know in the comments what you thought of this process and if you think it's viable or not. And I want to thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed watching me paint a little bit, and I hope that it inspires you to try this new technique. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.